right, so we're talking about Turo, and is Turo worth investing your time into? For you guys that don't know, Turo is a peer-to-peer rental service. You lend, it's like Uber, but not Ubering where you drive people, but the peer-to-peer model where you have a car and you lend it out to someone that rents it through Turo. So it's a car rental app, peer-to-peer. And yeah, let's get into if it's worth doing. Should you invest your time and effort and car into Turo? And in my honest opinion, yes, I believe Turo is worth it. Um, I've tried different side hustles. I tried the Amazon FBA. I've tried drop shipping. I've tried a lot of things just to see what kind of works, what is the best investment for your time, money. Drop shipping and FBA, I guess I maybe needed a bigger investment. I needed more time. However, none of those things kind of worked out for me in a beneficial way. Like I was putting resources, I was putting in resources, I was putting in time, and I just didn't see a quick turnaround. It wasn't something that was successful for me. However, with Turo, even though I'm not making thousands and I'm not making a crazy amount of money, the turnaround on like the side hustle, it was quick. I saw the influx of income, extra income within the week, within a couple days. It was very, very quick, and I think that was the main thing for me with Turo, was that I seen the results right away, and I think that was the most important. That and it's kind of hassle free, and I think those are very important components of a side hustle. Like you're actually seeing um, or a stream of income, a passive form of income, side hustle, whatever you want to call it, that you're seeing actual money come in, and it's not a lot of effort that you're putting into it. Yes, you have to put some effort, but it's not an extreme amount. So with Turo, I started Turo 3 months ago. I started Turo around December 5th. I think that's when I listed my vehicle. The onboarding and the signing up for Turo was extremely easy. It was for me. It was extremely easy. I just got on the app. I filled out everything. I went to the orientation, which was like maybe less than an hour, like 30 minutes. And after that, I wanted to prep my car, so I took it to get checked. I did a tune-up, the oil change, all of that, and then I got it detailed inside and out. That was me because I wanted to do that. I don't think you have to detail it, but you do have to complete a checklist. I think a mechanic has to complete a checklist for you, or something like that. But it's just making sure that the brakes work. However safe you would feel in a car, that's what your car should be able to do for your renters. So getting it checked, making sure the brakes work, making sure functioning properly, and basically that's it. And then I listed my car right after that, and within, I would say, man, it was quick. It was like a couple days after. Um, my car was rented out for a week, and I think that week was like, I'm not really sure, but I know every time I rent it out for a week or something, I make a couple $100 or $100 to $200. Um, because I think every day is like, well, in the area. Also, my car is a Nissan, and in the area that I'm in, I think all of that depends on the daily rate. And the daily rate for me is somewhere between um $47 to 50 or 52. I think it stays between that rate. Sometimes I've seen it, I think, in early 40s. I'm not sure. But it's between that rate on a daily basis. So I do see some money. My car has been getting rented out for weeks at a time, and that is great. I just got to make sure that I check in the car, that I make sure that there's nothing previously before the owners or the renters take it, and make sure I take pictures, and make sure and I think this is a tip if you're looking to do Turo. In every single check-in that you do, take pictures. I upload every check-in about 80 pictures. I know it's extra, but I make sure every inch of the outside is covered, every inch of the inside is covered, the trunk, um, the the windshield, just make sure those things are covered, because those are the things that tend to get damaged the most on the road. Like if a pebble hits the windshield, make sure that you have the glass covered. You get a picture of the glass just in case, they say the driver says, or the renter says, no, that wasn't me, it was already there. Make sure you have a good picture of the windshield. The front bumpers, those are the things that kind of get hit, scratched the most. The doors, dents on the doors, things like that. Make sure you take a lot of pictures during your check-in, and you should be good. It's very, very easy. You just have to check in your car, drop off the key, make sure you note the miles, full tank of gas, make sure your car is clean. Please give people a clean car, a good experience. That's one thing I'm very big on. I've had 10 rides already since in the 3 months, so I hit a milestone on Turo, and I've gotten 5 stars throughout all my trips, mainly because I make sure my car is how I would want to receive a rental. Nice and clean. Yeah, nice and clean, running well. I make sure I run it before I go. Everything just good. But it's minimal effort. These are things that you do for your own car. If you have, these are just normal things I think you should do in maintenance for your car. The only thing is you're probably doing it with more frequency now because you are providing a service. But yeah, you get about, so now to get into what you're looking to get out of it monetary wise, I think with one car, if you just have one car listed, I think the most you can make a month is around $600-$700. I've definitely seen those. That's consistent for the 3 months that I've been there. I've gotten an extra $600, almost $700 a month for renting out my car that I'm not using. I think that's phenomenal. I think that's great. I don't care how much money you make. If you can easily make an extra $700 a month, why not? I'm in tech, so my salary is pretty good. But making an extra $600, $700 a month, and I just have to drop off a key and make sure that my car is clean, that's easy money. That's easy money. I think that if you have, an extra car, if you want to rent out your car because you don't use it as much, if you just want to make a couple, even if it's not $600, maybe if you want to make $300 and rent it out for half of the month, maybe if you live in a place where you can walk everywhere, just whatever it is that you want to make quick money, I think this is a good option. As long as you have ways to get around. I think it's a phenomenal option, I would say, for couples that have a savings goal and they want to make extra income to cover some bills, and you have 2 cars that are in good condition. You guys downsize to 1 car, I don't know, and rent out the other one, and then you can have that extra income coming in and meet your savings goal. I actually was, when I get on Ubers a lot because I travel. That's the reason why I put my car on Turos, because I travel a lot for work. So I'm always in rentals, actual rentals from like National and all those places for work. So my car just sits a lot. So I figured I just rather rent it out, and I'm making money while I'm working. So it's like 2 paychecks at the ending of the week. 2 paychecks, one from Turo, even if it's a couple $100 or whatever, and then one from work. Win-win. But I was talking to this guy as I was this gentleman as I was in my Uber going to the airport, and he mentioned that he was retired or trying to retire, and he was doing Ubering just to make some money. But Uber, like, to make good money, he had to be out at a certain time. So I was telling him about Turo, and he said, yeah, that his wife had a car, and he had a car, and she just got a car, so they're paying on the car note. They're trying to meet a savings goal. He had like a 2020 car, in good condition. I'm like, instead of, and he was just saying how he had to Uber in odd times because he had to find the time to kind of Uber because a lot was going on. And I'm like, why don't you guys, I don't know what your situation is exactly, but why don't you guys downsize to 1 car for a little bit, put this car, which is in good condition, out for rent, and it makes money on its own, and then you have an extra amount of time to play with. If she's at work, take her to work, then you go Uber. And then you're like, it's adding income. You're Ubering, you have Turo, your wife is working, whatever it is, you guys can meet the savings goal. I don't know. I don't know everybody's situation, so I don't want to like do too much suggesting, but you guys can meet a goal easily with that. I think it's such it's been the easiest side hustle I've ever done. Mainly also because of my situation. My situation is kind of convenient because I have rentals, but um now that I'll be more local instead of traveling so much, my goal is to build a fleet. So now I can have, instead of $600, $700, I could have, if I get 2 cars, 3 cars, it'll be 2,000 or close to 2,000, 1,400, something like that a month. I think that's great. If I get 3 cars, I can get close to 2,000 something, 3,000. I don't know. And I think I want to do that. I think I want to build a small Turo fleet of maybe 3 to 4 cars, and that's great income because it's like it's very for me it's very hassle free. It's just making sure your cars are clean and ready for the renter. Also, um, in the 3 months that I've been doing Turo, I've had an incident. So I'll talk about what happens if your car gets damaged, if something happens to your car while it's being rented, and how that process goes. And it was the easiest experience, to be quite honest. I My car got rented out, and while the renter had my car, it got vandalized. They were out at a bar or something, and I don't know, some lady vandalized the car. Um, so they broke off the rear view mirror, so they had to enlist it because it was a safety concern. They scratched it. They busted out the headlights. Lord knows. Um, so Turo, right away, we submitted a claim right away to Turo. Luckily, the driver, the runner, just told me the story in the inbox, and I do all communications through Turo. I try to. So they mentioned everything that happened. So it was just basically just showing Turo like this is what happened, the pictures of what happened, and they recommended that we settled it. Um, and like he just agrees to get it fixed, and that's it. And then they gave me an estimate of $500. Now that their AI or whatever, the recommendation of how much they think that I think is I think they just go by the deductible. It's not really accurate because the damages were like a rear view mirror busted all the lights. That's already in the thousands. Lights are like $300 each. Well, for my car they were, or close to that. Plus putting in the mirrors, scratches that will have to get buffed out, painted. It was way beyond $500. Um, so we went through the claim. It was easy. It got approved within the week, and I got my car was down for like maybe a week and a half, almost two, because it was more of the labor that took more time. But they approved the claim. They gave me the right amount of money. They gave me the right appraisal to get everything fixed. Not $500 like they suggested. We settled it outside of Turo. So I would suggest going through the actual claim, not settling outside unless it's like very minimal. Um, but yeah, they took everything. They took care of everything. When you submit a claim and they ask you to pay the deductible, they actually take out the deductible from the appraisal amount, like from whatever they're gonna give you to get the car fixed. They actually take the deductible from there, which was cool. It was just 250 less. I have the 75% plan, so it was just 250 less than what they were gonna give me to fix the car. That was fine. But yeah, it was very easy. They approved everything right away. I got my car fixed and relisted and back on the market. So that I mean, anything that you do with facing clients, you're gonna run into different issues. Human. Everything doesn't go perfect. but I realized that that experience was very easy to go through. Mind you, I've only been doing it for 3 months. I have 10 rides. I've had an incident within one of those 10 rides. I've gotten to see different facets of working with Turo, and everything has been smooth. I don't know. I think if you want to build a fleet, I think it'll be great money. Um, yeah, I think you'll make good money if you build a fleet. A lot of people flip cars and put them on Turo from like the auctions and stuff. It has to be a clean title. You can't have like a salvage title on the car. But if you go to the auctioning, I don't think all cars at the auctions are salvage cars. But if you buy a car from the auction that meets the Turo requirements and it has a clean title, you can add it to your fleet and start making, I don't know, I think three to four cars will make you close to 3K a month extra. If you have the time, if you have the cars, I don't think it's a bad deal. I think it's a great option. For me, I only had the time for one car, and I'm making $600 or $600 to $700 a month, and I'm able to cover, my car is still financed, so I'm able to cover my car payment, which is not that much, and then I'm able to get an extra to pay bills or to save. I think it's a great deal, and it's so easy to do. And it's everything is pretty much covered. If you do the tour insurance of 75%, everything is 75. They give you 75. They take 25% out of the earnings, um, and you have a deductible of 250 if anything happens. I think that's a great plan. It has worked out for me. Um, yeah, I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good deal. I think you can change the plans to maybe at 80 or 90, but the deductibles are super high. I don't know. When something happens to your car, it tends to be pretty expensive. Um, I think I'd rather pay the Turo fee of 75 and just make it 250 as a deductible, because it's like any little thing with cars is like so much money unless you know how to fix cars, and I think is a great option for people who know how to fix cars. You can make a good amount of money. Um, yeah, so I will be building my Turo fleet in 2024, and I will do a follow-up video once I have the fleet and I do Turo more, if I invest more time into Turo. Right now it's just very part-time. It's a side hustle. I just clean it, give them the key, go about my day. I travel a lot, so it's like take it. Just take my car. As long as it's not sitting, my car will sit for 2 weeks or a week, and that's not good for the car to just be sitting. And for the first 8 months where I was working in my new job, it was like my car is just sitting there, and I'm paying monthly on it, and I'm not using it. So it made a lot of sense to just let y'all borrow it. So yeah, I think it's a good deal. Go for it if you're thinking about it. It's very easy to sign up. If you are at home and you're looking for ways to gain money, start a small Turo fleet. Look into it. Go to the auctions. Start a small Turo fleet, and yeah, you can make some good money. I guess some decent money. All right. Well, I think that's all I have for Turo. If you guys have any questions on the process, let me know. I'm gonna continue experimenting with her. I think is my favorite side hustle so far. Like I said, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, did not work out so well for me. I may invest into them differently in the future. I'll have to see. But if you guys have any questions regarding Turo, please feel free to leave a comment. I am here to help. Yeah. So, yeah. See you.